Screen is visible, right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay. Now, as you can see, this is the screen of 3ds Max, and this is the GUI of 3ds Max. Okay, I will explore it about all these feature about this GUI. Okay, so first let me mention that this 3ds Max software, it comes under mainly media and entertainment sector of Autodesk or softwares. Okay, so these this 3ds Max tool has the major tools related to media and entertainment sector. So this this software was initially developed for gaming and entertainment sector. And with this software, there are numerous movies are created like G.I. Joe, The Rising Cobra, Spider-Man 3, Choda Bhim, Kung Fu. There are there are lots of names of movies which are created in this software. So this software has the vast number of tools, and it is mostly uh, for uh, for gamers and the animation creators. Okay, but we also have some tools to create our architecture model. Here also we can do that, and mostly it will give us the better rendering, better visualization. Okay, so after creating all our model in Revit, okay, so we will definitely choose Revit for our 3D BIM model. That will help us to create that 3D BIM model or any other um 3D BIM modeling software, right? After creating that, we will import it here for the visualization purpose because it has the capability to create better materials to enhance your visualization better. Okay, you can match the uh, realistic, you can match better. Okay, we have other also we have other softwares like this. We can get it in Lumion as well. We have Enscape as well, and this is also like that. And this is Autodesk software. So that's why we, for better compatibility, we use this 3ds Max for this purpose. Okay, so as you can see, this is the GUI of 3ds Max, and currently this has 2022 version of this software. So as you can see, this is the first. So this is your user account menu. Okay, here you can log in your Autodesk account if you have any license. So you can access your license version software after login into your Autodesk account.
Hello,
Can
sir.
you?
Hema-
Yes. Tell me.
Sir, I have a question, sir. Yeah.
There are very background noises. Can you clear that?
Sir, sir, how is different from SketchUp, sir?
Okay. Yeah, I will definitely share that information.
For architectural students.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good question. Yeah, I will definitely clear that out. Okay. So, as I have mentioned that this is the Autodesk software, and for better compatibility, we choose this 3ds Max software, nothing else. We can use also SketchUp software. So every vendors has their own softwares. So you know, here we are using Revit architecture, but some other countries like UK, they use ArchiCAD or ArchiCAD they use. So that's a different software, but the ultimate result will be same. Okay. So similarly, you have that SketchUp also, but as I've also mentioned that this has numerous tools, and the most tools are related to media and entertainment industry, and it has the better uh, material creating power. Okay, so that's the thing which you won't have in SketchUp. You cannot create better materials in SketchUp. Okay, you can definitely create your architecture model. That in that SketchUp you can create it more faster, right? But what will happen? It won't create that much of information which are required for our better construction, right? So that's why we choose BIM software, and for that we have that Revit architecture, which will create your BIM modeling. Correct. After done with your BIM modeling, your 3D modeling part, when it is needed for the visualization purpose, then you will come to this software. Okay, that's the thing. Uh, but in SketchUp, if you import your Revit model, there you can do it some basic visualization, some sketchy visualization, some architecture hand sketch look, but you cannot make it exact or you cannot match to the reality, right? So for that, we need to come in this 3ds Max or any better software for visualization like Lumion. Okay, so here we can create our materials. Okay, so and why 3ds Max? Because it is an Autodesk software. So for better compatibility, we choose, and also you can say that you can if you think as a company owner perspective, so Autodesk has the AEC package. So when you are purchasing Revit, Naviswork, and other Autodesk software, so if you purchase this one, so it will cost you less. So
Hello.
all these things. Hello.
Yes, sir. Sir, if somebody has SketchUp knowledge, then also need to learn this 3ds Max. It also necessary, sir.
It's what I have mentioned, that it totally depend on what is the need, right? Correct.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So if you are not working for BIM projects, then SketchUp is the best software, right? If you have less requirement for information, then SketchUp is the best software. In that software, you can complete your task in very less time, right? With better proficiency, better accuracy in less time, right? That's the thing. So if you have that kind of requirement, SketchUp is best,
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you.
right? So uh, shall I move to the next? Is there anything to ask?
What is GUI?
GUI is your graphical user interface. Okay, so every software has this GUI. Revit also has the GUI, AutoCAD, and every software has this GUI. So GUI, this graphical user interface. So that's I'm uh, elaborating about this software so that you can understand about each and every part's name, where it is and what it is called. Okay, so that you can understand the software better, and it will help you to grasp it quickly and handle it better. Okay,
Okay, sir.
thank you. Nice. So as you can see that this is the user account menu. As I've already mentioned, there you can log into your Autodesk account and you can access your license of the software. So each and every Autodesk software has this user account menu, and here you have this workspace, right? In AutoCAD also you may have heard about workspace, right? There you have that three default workspace, uh, drafting and annotation, 3D basic and 3D modeling, right? You remember? You guys all remember, right?
Yes, sir.
Great.
Yes, sir.
So here also the same meaning, workspace. Okay. So workspace, I'm just repeating about the workspace. That workspace is your set of tools, ribbons, and panels uh, according to your work purpose, right? So here also you have some settings related to your work purpose. All these tools, uh, ribbons, all these things in a particular manner, it is placed according to your work purpose so that you get benefited using that workspace as per your work purpose. So that is workspace we are having here. So generally we will see that it is set to default option. Okay, no need to worry about that workspace. So you can start working with the default workspace. If you are master using this 3ds Max, you have need of lots of tools and different tools for your different work purposes, then you can change this workspace and using different workspaces. And I will definitely show you that how you can manage this workspace. Okay. So next is your menu bar. So here you can see this is called the menu bar of the software. So here you have all these menus, and this menus will help you to have all these tools. Okay. So next is 4, that is main toolbar. This is your main toolbar. Okay, we have all the other tools, but this is the main toolbar. All the times we will be using these tools maximum. Okay, so this is the main toolbar, and this 5, this is your, you can say, ribbon or palette. You can say it ribbon, and you can minimize, you can maximize this ribbon. Okay, if you're working with different uh, advanced tools, then you can open this ribbon. Next, let me go to this 6. This is Scene Explorer. So Scene Explorer will help you to manage your scenes. So in this scene, as you can see that we have different layers, different groups, and different components in our model. Like we have that camera, we have this model, right? So we can manage them. So whenever I need, I don't need this camera, I can hide it just. And whenever I will need, I can show it, and this way I can manage all these things for my better productivity. Okay, so here we have all this scene, and I can group them, okay, as per the layer. Okay, sorry guys. Yep. So next is your 7. Here you can see. So this is your viewport layout. You know, this is the viewport, this 9th number, this 4 views are all together called your viewport. Okay, so you already know in AutoCAD also, in Revit also, you have a viewport. The same thing here also, and here we have that viewport layout. Okay, so viewport layout is nothing, just to change the layout of your viewport. Okay, I will explore. I will practically show it in the software itself. So then you will understand it better. And next, that is your 8. It is your command panel. Okay. Here you will have all the commands, or you can say your modeling elements, modeling tools are in this command panel. Okay, modeling tools, modifying tools are in this command panel. Next is your viewport, which I've already mentioned. Next, this is the 10th. This is your Max script mini listener. This is not for the architects or not for, I can say, civil engineers. This is mainly for the animators, the gaming industry. Okay, so they will run this script and they can create uh, their functions. Okay, so next is your status line. This is your status line. This will show you the information as per your mouse movement or the activity going on. Here you can see it. Okay. So sometimes it will also help you to identify, suppose there are some overlapping objects. Okay. But you cannot identify which object you are about to select as per your mouse placement. But here it will show you. Okay, so you can identify. So it will also help you in some cases. Now, here we have this two option in this 12 section. Okay, one is isolate selection toggle, another is selection lock toggle. Okay, so as per the name, you can understand that is isolate selection toggle means when you are going to select one particular thing, that will not be selected, or the other which are unselected, those items can be selected at a time at just one click. So that's the benefit, right? We can save time. uh, if we go for selection one by one click, then it will take longer time, but in this process we can just select it by just one click. Okay, or we will select all together by lesser clicks. Okay, and you don't have to find out where all your objects are. You don't have to find out in all in the scene, right? Next is your selection lock toggle. Selection lock toggle is for protection. Okay, so suppose if you are changing haphazardly or any changes are being done in your scene and you don't want to make changes in any particular object or any particular part of your total model, so then you can lock it. So that won't be uh, selected mistakenly, or no changes will be done without your consent. Next is your coordinate display. Here all the coordinates, or you can say the selected objects coordinate values will be visible here. So you can position them with this coordinate here in this coordinate display box also. And here it's showing you the grid values, grid spacing. Okay. Next is your animation and time control. So here we have this animation control for when we'll be creating our animation. So we need to play them, we need to pause them, we need to control them and manage them. So for that we have this animation and time control, and we have this keyframe. So in each and every keyframe we will uh, record the movement, the changes in the movement, and we will play together as animation. And here we have this viewport and navigation I hope this is visible, right? Viewport and navigation control tools. Okay, so to control your viewport and the navigation in the viewport in the scene, we will use these tools and our mouse pointer and our mouse as well. Okay, and here we have this project toolbar. So in the project, we will not only create or import any 3D model, we will also use some images and materials for the total scene or for the total project, right? So all these files we need to have in our project. So for that, we will create a project folder. 3ds Max gives you the option to create a project folder. Okay, in the project folder, all the objects which are used in this 3ds Max will be collected, okay, as per the category of itself. So if you are using any material, so already the materials, a material folder will be created, and when you'll be saving it, it will be only saved in that material folder. So this way it will segregate all these things and you will have the better project. Okay, so we will definitely explore it. So now let me go to the software itself. All right. Now let me open the software. Yeah. So is this software visible right now?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. So as you can see, so currently I'm not having that scene explorer, right? So how can I bring that? So if I go to this tool, this is my menu bar, right? So from this tool, I have the scene explorer. If I click on it, then the scene explorer will be here, right? And currently I'm not having anything. So that's why, and this is the current layer right now. Okay. So that's why you cannot see anything much here. Okay. So right now it's not needed. And here you can see this is the viewport control, right? Sorry, viewport layout. Okay. So here we have this quad 4 layout right now. That's why we are having this 4 views, okay, in this viewport. So here, if you click on this arrow, you can create a new viewport layout from this list. Okay, so we have this layout list. From this layout list, you can choose. So if I choose this layout, so here I have this one single bigger viewport and all the other 3 smaller viewport. Okay, so here you can see that this has this view option, this your quality option, and here we have this visual style option. Okay, so here also I can change the view, and here you can see that these are the shortcuts. Okay, so I can change it to perspective. Okay, this is the perspective and this is the view queue. Right now I have changed it to perspective view, but in the view queue it is set to top, so that's why. So now I have to choose or click on this corner, that will be southwest. If I need northeast or southeast, according to that I have to click on the corner. All right, so I'm going for this southwest, and here I have this, and uh, I can click on this Z or zoom extend. Here also I have this option, zoom extend, all selected. So all those uh, object will be zoomed here. Okay, and now you can see this is highlighted in this yellow border. That means this viewport or this view is currently active. Okay, and here you can see that the view is set to perspective. Now I don't need two perspective views, right? I need just one, and that is the bigger screen which I have, and it will help me to uh, see the whole model in 3D, correct? So which view I'm currently missing? The top view, correct? So here I can go to this view option and select the top like the previous, or else I can click the or press the shortcut, that is T. So I have just pressed the shortcut, that is T, and here you can see that is right now set to top. Okay, and similarly I can change it to left if I press L. Okay, and here I can go to F for front, and here I can press T for top. Okay, so I have this 3D bigger view and these three orthographic view, right? So this way I can set my layout, and here if I create any, you can see that in each and every view I can see this mode. Okay, and here you can see that the visual style is set to wireframe. So for that also we have the shortcut. So if I go for F3, that will change it to shaded mode. Okay, this is default shading. So here with this mode you can see the colors and the solidness of your model, right? So here also if you go to this selected viewport, and here if you press F3, then you can see that as a solid. Okay, and also F3, and again if you want to see it for wireframe, just press F4. Just press the F3. Okay, and now if you see that the edges, if you want to highlight the edges, then press your F4. Okay, all right, so here you can see that when you are selecting it, it's highlighting these edges. Fine, so for that you can just press F4. Now I don't need F4, the edges. Okay, so for that I can press F4 again, so it will not highlight the edges. Okay, so I'm exploring all these features which I have recently uh, explained to you. All right, so here you can see this is the command panel. Okay, suppose you have installed the software and your command panel is not shown in this software. So how can you bring it in the software? How can you show it? How it will show up, right? So for that, here you have this show UI option, and go to this customize menu, and you have this show UI, and if this is unchecked, then this command panel will not be shown, will not be visible. Okay, so make sure this command panel is checked. Okay, and you can also stretch it like this if you want your bigger viewports, so you can stretch this way. And in this command panel here we have this create option. If you want to create anything like the model, the light, the cameras, and for your uh, any animation, if you need any force like wind force, any for your water particles, any gravitational forces are there, so you can create these things in this create tab. You will find all these tools. Okay, so here you have this geometry. If you want to create geometric shapes, so you have this geometry. You want to create 2D shapes, you have this light, camera. So these things are there. Okay. Then modify tools. We have this modify tools. Then we have this hierarchy tools. So we have some pivot points, and uh, we for better uh, creating our model, sometimes we need to change the pivot points. So we will come to this hierarchy and we will change, we'll uh, make changes, and we will create it. So I will definitely show you that. And here we have some motion paths. So that will not create. We will, for animation purpose, we will cover just the basic tools for walkthrough only. And here also we have some display color. So here you can see that for the wireframe, object color will show, and for this shaded, the material color is selected. So when the shaded option will be selected, so if you change it to object color, and this object color will be visible only. So the if you apply any material, so it will not be visible if you make any changes. Okay. So that's why this material color is selected, and if you apply any materials in this shaded visual style, you will see it. Okay. And you want to hide the geometry shapes, so here you can hide it. Okay. The geometry. Okay. And the shapes, you want to hide it, the lights and cameras. So here also you can control the display. Okay. And we have some utilities options are there for the Max script and others. So these are this measure. Okay, this measure option we will use. So later I will show it to you. Okay. Now here you can see that we have this workspace. So we have this default workspace. Currently we have this much of workspace settings. And now let me show you this manage workspace. And in this manage workspace, this currently default is there. If you want to delete anything, so you can click on this red cross and it will be deleted. Okay. And after making any changes, if you want to restore it to the default state, here is the option restore to default state. And then you can save it to the default state. Okay. And if you are changing it, after changing it, you want to create your new workspace. So here you have this save as a new workspace. I think you have already created workspace in AutoCAD, and you have done this similar option in AutoCAD also. All right, so this way you can create your workspace, you can manage this workspace. Okay, so let me show you some different workspaces. So here you can see that the layout is changed, right? And if you go to this design standard, it is like that. Okay. So we can work with this default. All right, nothing to change. And here we have this project. Okay, so I had created one project, so that's the default is right now set. Is this file tab is visible? These options are visible, right? This import, export, right? So here also we have this project option. Okay, I will later show you how you can create the project, and there all this, when you will be creating it, you will be saving it to that project folder only. Okay, we will not save it like other software like Revit or AutoCAD or any other software like that, first we will create the project folder and there we will be saving it. Okay. Now, before moving to the modeling, uh, basic modeling part, let me show you more about this GUI. That we have this file option. Here we can import some external files which is created either in AutoCAD or in Revit, or if it is created in other software, so then we have to convert it or save it as a FBX file. Then only we can import it. Fine. We can export it in other different file format. Okay, for other software's compatibility. All right. Now let me show you with the preferences. In the preference, you need to set some options. Okay. So for this files, how you need to save or choose the options. So these options should be checked. I hope after this class you can remember this option, or you can just follow. If you have opened the 3ds Max software, you can just follow it right now, or you can have the recordings after that also. You can practice it. So these options must be checked. Here you can see that convert local file paths to relative. Why is it so? Because in your file there not only be this 3ds Max, this file, there may be some external files which will be imported into this 3ds Max, right? The other materials and images may be imported, may be inserted in your 3ds Max. So all those files which you have in your computer or your desktop or your laptop, that has a certain file path which is present in your computer, in your system, right? But when you will send it after saving it, the 3ds Max file, when you will save it, when you will send it to other person or your project members, the path will be changed, right? That will create problem. So when this one is selected, the file paths to relative, so as per the new location, the paths will get updated. You understand? That's why you need to check this option. Okay. And this option you can check, you don't need to check. It is totally up to you. So backup on save. All right. So there is nothing to elaborate. I hope you can understand. And increment on save. Increment on save, that means suppose right now you have saved it. Okay. Right now, if you save it with a name, and after that you again save it after doing more changes to your model, you again save it. So it will save with an increment number. So the previous save you will also have, the recent save you will also have. So if you have that kind of requirement, you can choose it. You have that compress on save. So if you do this option, so your file's size will be reduced. That is a better option. Okay, so you have this save file properties. So that's the thing you should go for it. And then you have this save viewport thumbnail image. Okay, so uh, uh, you have this viewport as per the current viewport position. You will have that thumbnail of your uh, saved file, right? Like you get in your Revit when you save it, right? So these are the options you need to check. Okay, and others, all the other options are absolutely okay. You can understand it simply, and you have this viewports, and there is nothing much to worry about. Okay, so everything is fine. So that's the thing which I had to mention. Okay, and we have this rendering options. So these are absolutely fine. There is nothing much to change. Okay. Now, if you go to this customize user interface, so here you can see that we have some keyboard uh, hotkeys. I will show you in the next option. And here we have this mouse option. So how you can rotate it, how you can zoom it, these options are there. So if you want to change it with your mouse, these are the option, right? How you can zoom it, control a alt, and mmb means mouse middle button. Here you can change it. You can just, here you see that left middle button plus right middle button, and if you click on this assign, and this will be assigned to this option, and next you can use this option. Okay, so if you want to remove it, you can remove it, and I'll reset it. Fine. So this way you can change it for the toolbars as well. Okay, so for animation layers, so these are the option. Main UI you have for every group and category. Okay, for the category of tools, you can choose how you want to present them. Okay. Next, we have this quad menu. First, let me elaborate what is quad menu. Anywhere in the viewport, if you right click, and this menu which will pop up, that is called the quad menu. Okay, that is a simple thing. Now let me go to this customize. So in this quad menu, here you can see that you can add or remove the what will be present. Okay, and in the menus, here you can see these are the menus. So if you want to delete it, you can remove it. Okay, and it will show you that in which, so when I had double clicked this animation, so this here you can have this animation tool. Okay, so this is already there. This animation is already there. So anything you, if you want to remove it, you can just select and delete it. So okay, I'm not right now deleting it. All right, and about the colors. Okay, so you can just choose what color for different elements. Okay, you can choose this. So right now I'm closing it, and you can go to this customize, and here you have this hotkey editor. So each and every command, here you have almost every command you have shortcuts, or the that is called hotkey in 3ds Max language. Okay, and if you don't have any hotkeys, so here you can just select it, and here you can click assign that, just mention that hotkey, and then you can click it. Suppose if I P, then assign option will be activated and you can assign it. Okay, so this way you can assign the hotkeys. Now again, let me go to this, and here you have this I've already showed you this show UI option. Now the preferences already have showed to you. Okay. Now let me show you that we have this option for your UI layout. UI, that is your user interface. And for that, we have this settings. So first, let me show you about the UI schemes. So this is nothing about the how it will look. Okay, how it will look. Here we have this light color. Here we have this dark color, and here we have this default UI. So you can see that this is similar to this dark option. Okay, there is nothing much, only these options, these some options are different, nothing much. Okay. Okay, that's the thing. Now in this initial settings for tool options, so here we have this. If I choose this design views, this option, design and visualization, and we will have these settings for rendering. I will have these settings in the initial condition. Later I can change it. That's a different thing. But initially I will have these settings. If I choose this, now I have this option where this will be changed and all these options accordingly I will have. Okay. All right. So these are the options. So you can just read these things according to your purpose. You can choose what you need. Okay. So there is now unit setup. First, you need to set your unit. Okay. So here we have this metric unit. This is the display unit. All right. How it will be displayed, all the values. And here you can see this is with millimeters. If it is millimeters, all the values will be displayed in millimeter format. If you want to show it in inches, feet and inches, then you have this US standard, and there you can choose decimal inches, fractional inches, or feet and fractional inches. These things you can choose. Okay. And you have this custom unit. If so FL is your full length. Full length is equal to how much, what unit you can define as per your settings. This is custom as per the user. Okay. And you have this generic unit. So generic unit will be your system unit. So at the default, if it is set to 1 unit, then it will be 1 millimeter. Okay. So in the generic unit, you will not see any unit values like millimeter or inches. You know just that it is equal to system unit, and the system unit is 1 unit is equal to 1 millimeter. That is the thing. Okay, so let me show you that also. Here, if you go to this modify, so here you have this 55.048, and that is equal to that millimeter, 1 unit. So this is your unit, 55.048 unit. Okay. And that is equal to that much of millimeter. So generally we'll be working with metric. So we'll choose metric and click on OK. And for lighting units also, we will choose international. Okay, so here you can see that there's nothing is changed. Fine. So that is 55 millimeter, and you can go for the inches as well. And here you can see that this is the animation, your slider. When we will create animation, we need to move this, and each and every frame will make it a keyframe. So for that we have this key option to choose this position as a keyframe, and we will record the movement of the position, and then all together we will play it. Okay, and we have this option time configuration here. You can see that it is set to 0 to 1000 frame, up to 1000 frame it is set. So you can change it to 100. If it is 100 in your system, you can change it to 1000 if it is required. And how much speed will be there. Okay, so I have it slowed down. Sorry, maxed up, right? If you choose this 2x, it will be maxed up, and 1 by 4th x, it is slowed down. So, and your frame rate options are there. So these options can be managed by this time configuration option, and here you can play, pause, these options can be done. Okay, and here means what at currently what frame you are, it will show you here, or you can go precisely with this number. Suppose if you press 500, enter, and it will move that slider to that particular frame. So you don't have to worry about making it precise. You can just type it, and you will have to that. You will go to that right frame, and then you can make it. So when we will make animation, we will definitely explore this option. Okay, and let me show you this isolate selection. So if you have more option, let me quickly create some other options. Take this teapot. So if this isolate lock option is okay, okay, now let me click on this isolate selection. Mm, go to this rectangular selection. Rectangular selection. Let me click on this isolate selection. Mm, okay, sorry, which I have mentioned is totally that was totally wrong. That is my bad. And let me tell you that what is happening is here it is making all the other objects, all the other unselected objects hidden. Okay, with this option. So that is the meaning of this isolate selection. Okay, forget about the first that I mentioned. And how you can make them unhide. So if you right click, and in this quad menu, you have this unhide all, and you will have it. Okay. Sorry, I forgot about this option. Yeah. Now you have this selection lock toggle. So now you can see that I can move it right now. If I go for this after selecting it, if I go for this selection lock toggle, then I cannot move Okay. Okay, so this is right now only selected. So if I go for the selection lock toggle, so I cannot select any other. Okay, so nothing will be selected right now. So that's the thing. Okay, so you need to uncheck this option and then you can select other things. Fine. So now let me show you about this modeling options. Here you can see that this is the geometry options right now selected. And here we have standard primitives, extended primitives, and other options to create. So for basic and compound shapes of your geometry, you will have this standard primitives and extended primitives. You have other like doors, windows, and in AEC extended, you will have these options for your architecture and civil related options. We have these other options to create. All right, for this civil view, this is generally for your infrastructure views. So you have this trees and all, so you can create it. Now I will be focusing on this standard primitives and extended primitives. I hope in AutoCAD 3D you all have explored these options. Here you can see this T-pod and text plus. These two options are new. If you compare with your AutoCAD 3D and plane options is new, but the other options are similar, which you have found in AutoCAD. So here how you can create it. First, here you can see that this is the color. You can change the color if you want. First, you can define it. Then if you want to create cube, so here you can choose in the beginning. If you want to make box, so keep it as box checked, and then click and hold your click and then drag it to the particular location or the area you want to define. Later you can change it, no worry about that. And then release your uh, left click, and then without any click, just drag your mouse to the upward direction. And then after deciding your height, click and your box is created. And after that, you are allowed to change this length, width, and height option. So I'm currently at this box creation mode, right? After that, after just creating, you are allowed to change the length, width, or the parameters. But if you create another option, so you have to come to this modify. Okay, so for that, if you are at the creation mode, right now this box is selected, so that means it is in creation mode. So how you can uh, jump out from this creation mode? Right click and you are out of this creation mode. And if you want to modify this, modify the parameter of this object, then come to this modify option. And here you can change the length 75, this is 100, and this is 50. Okay, and here also we have the segments. Okay, so segments helps you to define the prominent shape of your geometry. So the better if you want to have the better geometric shapes, so you need to have more segments. But one problem you must remember, that one problem may occur. It can generate number of polygons. Okay, so if you are generating unnecessary polygons, or if you are giving more segments unnecessary, so it will may hamper uh, the efficiency of the software, so it may lag much. So make sure that you are not providing unnecessary segments. The much is required, only provide that much. So right now I'm currently at the default shading visual style. So if I choose F4, then it will be edge surface. So I can see the solid and the edges will be highlighted, so that in this solid visual mode, I can see all these segments. OK. Great. So this way we can create it. OK. So I will suggest you guys that first explore all these standard primitives by yourself. So here I have this sphere. I'm just giving you example that how you will explore it. OK, by changing every parameters and these option, and by combining all these changes into different combination, you can explore it better, and you will have that idea that these geometric shapes can give you another shape or model, and you will have much ideas that this can be used for these model purpose. Okay, if you have that kind of requirement. So now suppose if you want to maximize this viewport, then you have this alt W option. Okay, you have this alt W. So if you press alt W, this will be maximized, and here at the bottom of your screen, the right side bottom, you also have that icon for maximize viewport. OK, and again you can press alt W to minimize. Now let me show you that if you have created this sphere, so you can choose and make the segments less. See, and I will uncheck this smooth option so that you have this better edges, right? The prominent edges and the surfaces, correct? Now, if you want to rotate or orbit, then hold Alt and mouse middle button together, and holding Alt and mouse middle button together, move your mouse. So unlike other softwares, here you have to hold Alt and mouse middle button. But in the previous AutoCAD or Revit, you had to hold Shift and mouse middle button. So you need to practice this. And mouse middle button. OK. Now, if you want to chop it, so if I choose squash and I increase this, so it will be chopped in this way. OK. So now you can see that a sphere can be converted into a shape like this. And this will help you to have an idea that this shape later can be achieved into another form, right? And now let me show you this chop option. And this chop option is like just going through the knife, right? You're just cutting it horizontally. right? And this is percentage. Okay, so you see that 0.315, that means 30% is chopped. Okay. Fine. And if you go for squash, it will be like this way, in this manner. Okay. All right. So this way you need to, and here also we have this slice option. So let me go to this chop option. And after that, you can go for slides. So you can create slices in this way. So from 0 to 180, you can have a slice. So if you need anything like this, you can have, and you can again combine it with this squash. You see, you can have this, and now you need to combine it with this segments, change these segments and then change it. So this way you need to explore. Okay, are you getting it? So this will be your task. I hope you understood. So this is it for today. You need to practice this and you will be exploring it, exploring all these standard primitives. Okay, this in this way, in this manner. All right. I hope you all understood. Now let me know if you have any queries.
So which version should we have to use for this course?
Always use the updated version, but if you're that also depend on your system configuration. As per the system supports, you uh, try as much as updated version you can use.
Okay, sir.
Or anything else, guys? Any more queries?
No, sir.
Okay. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the class and you have learned this.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. That's nice. Thank you. Thank you very much. And please encourage me as well by practicing it so that I can also enjoy, right?
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you very much. So I'm concluding it here.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you
Good
very
night.
much.
Sir.